So I love dumplings, and I know that a lot of people also really enjoy dumplings from around the world. Today I'm going to make some cheese and chorizo pierogies, and it's going to feel like a lot of stages, but the end result is so worth it. So I'm going to start with just making the dough that we're going to wrap our filling, which will be, as a pierogi, will be comprised of mashed potato mixed in with cheese and chorizo. So it's only 4 ingredients you need for the dough. You've got your plain white flour. I've got 320 grams of that, 125 millilitres of water, an egg, and just a pinch of salt. So I'm just basically going to put it all in together into the bowl. And I will just give it a mix, but then we're going to hand knead it and get it to like a smooth texture. So we'll give it a good mix with a spatula first. And then once you feel like it's getting combined, that's when you can start kneading it. You can knead it in the bowl for a little bit, but so just get that off the spatula. And it shouldn't need that much work, but you just knead it together just until it's all smooth. So a few minutes. So I've just taken it out of the bowl, I've just given it a quick knead on the bench. It doesn't actually need any more excess flour, it's just going to be a bit sticky. But you're just looking for a smooth dough. I've done this for about a couple minutes, and I think we're about there. So you can just see it's all combined. It takes the excess off my hands, and it's very smooth and combined together. So at this point I'm just going to cover it in cling film and let it rest and chill in the fridge for at least a minimum of 30 minutes, but I'm going to leave it there for around an hour before we can roll it out and make our pierogies. So while my dough was chilling in the fridge, I didn't video this, but I just whipped together, instead of using mash, I used like 3 big potatoes. Started with mash and then added in around 100 grams of grated cheese. So I used Cheddar and Comté, and then I pan fried some chorizo and added that in there to just have it a flavourful filling. So that's been seasoned as well and ready to be filled into our pierogi dough. So I rolled this out onto a baking sheet, around 3.5 millimeters thick. Now you can easily use a wine bottle if you don't have a rolling pin, and I'm just going to use, just to make the circles for our pierogies, a pint glass. So just put it down, twist out, and you'll get a lovely little circle. Just place it into the palm of your hand. It is quite sticky and malleable, and it's good because it'll be easy to close. So you kind of want a little ball of filling. You can just get it in the spoon and then like get it to little filling. So a little ball around that size. And then what you want to do is kind of push it down to then stretch over the edges. So meet them, and then push the filling in and then just like crimp the edges. It's very soft, so you'll be able to spread the filling evenly and until you have all the edges sealed. From that point you can just do like 5 little crimps so that it has a nice little dumpling shape. I put it on a floured plate so it doesn't stick. Make sure you don't stick them together because they are quite sticky. And then once you've done all of them, we'll be ready to cook them. So here are our ready-made pierogies. I'm just frying off some brown onions here because I'm going to serve them with some of sour cream that Joe made last night. And there's a video on that, how to make that, very simple and straightforward. I'm just browning some onions here, and I've chopped up some spring onions, so I'm just going to do a very simple serve it with those two. I've got some salted water here, just boiling. I think if you had a bit of bigger pot, you could probably boil some more at the same time. I'm going to go for 6. So, right, I'm just going to pop in 6 there. It's come to the boil, and we just will drop in our pierogies, and they're going to take about 8 minutes, and they will usually float. Try and make sure that they don't stick as you put them in. So yeah, 6. Try and Corah's playing with her ball. Just get a little swirly motion. So I'm just going to take the onions off so they're ready for service. And we'll just let the dumplings boil for around 8 minutes. They're quite large, but they'll start to float. And then we're ready to shallow fry. So I'll just prepare my pan. So about that much oil. Just a shallow fry on each side, just to finish it off to make it a little bit crispy. Okay. So these are all ready. They're boiling nicely and they're floating, and you'll notice, and they've expanded a bit, so they're a bit larger. So I'm just going to, because I'm doing it in batches, I'm going to need the water, reserve the water. So I'm just going to pop them into a sieve over a bowl and let them steam off a little bit, and then we'll be ready to shallow fry them. And while they steam off in the sieve, I will pop in our last batch. So our pan's pretty hot. Got a good layer of oil on there. So I'm just going to drop them in. And then we need a couple minutes each side on a medium heat. Just to make it a bit crispy. So it's been a couple minutes, you'll see that they've got, I'm going to flip them over. You should have a nice golden, and you can see crispy little bubbles there. Side, and then we'll just do the same again, a couple minutes on the other side. And we'll have some crunchy cheese and chorizo filled pierogies.
Do you want some cheese pierogies? I bet you do. I bet you do. Do you want some cheese pierogies, Corah? You know, beauty.
So these are about done. You can see that on the other side we just got the same amount of crispiness. They're lovely and golden. So just to serve up, just gonna arrange them on the plate, like so. They look like pot stickers. This is Joe's portion, so I'm gonna give him 6. Ooh. And I'm going to take Joe's homemade sour cream, which is on another video. It's delicious. A generous dollop. And with our brown onions from earlier, just going to garnish. And the last bit, onions a few ways. You've got a bit of spring onion as well. And there we have it. We've got cheese and chorizo pierogies with homemade sour cream and browned onions and spring onions. Enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed that dish, and I hope you give pierogies a try. Click like if you enjoyed that, and subscribe to our Corona Diet channel for future recipes, for more recipes.
Great.